Ooh, big left hand.
Do you see the potential danger of this pattern, especially against a fighter like Dricus Du Plessis? Not quite? Let's take a deeper dive. Regardless of personal opinions about him, Israel Adesanya is one of the most skilled and dynamic strikers the UFC's ever seen. But even the best can make mistakes. Now, the mistake in question is a mistake that Izzy made in his last 2 fights, a couple times against Pereira and 1 time against Sean Strickland, and they both got him in trouble each time. Now, with the amount of times I've said the word mistake so far, you're probably wondering, what exactly is this mistake? Let me show you. To easily break down what the high guard is, we'll look at 3 areas. So the goal of the high guard is going to be to defend the most vulnerable areas, like the head and chin from all kinds of strikes. The action behind it is going to be to use the high guard to deflect punches and set up your own counterattacks. And the logic behind it is going to be to help protect the fighter, save some energy, and kind of trick your opponent to a false sense of security. Normally, Izzy will use his head movement and footwork as his first line of defense, rather than staying in front of you and just shelling up. It's a bit uncommon, but lately, he's been using a higher guard in certain positions and exchanges. It's usually in an attempt to set up his left hook. Now, while this may seem like a good idea on paper, the quickest way between point A and B is a straight line. Straight shots will always beat looping punches. In a world where film study is extremely important at the highest level of fighting, if there's one pattern you're going to pick up and capitalize off of Israel Adesanya, it's going to be this one. Now that we're aware of the pattern, we're going to look at 3 areas where Dricus can capitalize on this. The first one's going to be the most obvious one, his infamous blitzing 1-2 down the middle. With his power and explosiveness, if he's ever able to find Izzy setting up this left hook using the high guard, this 1-2 down the middle will be very, very dangerous against Izzy. Even if it doesn't knock him out, if it just hurts him, the same way Sean Strickland was able to land, you do not want Dricus either on your back while you're hurt or standing up and you're hurt and he's just welling punches at you. You do not want to be in that position. For the second one, it's going to be takedowns. For a fighter like Israel to have such good takedown defense, the only way you're going to get him down is either if you just brute strength it or if you just have overall good timing on the takedowns. You know, I think if Izzy ever puts himself out of position by going for that left hook counter, it's a very smart option for Dricus to shoot for a takedown as soon as he puts that high guard up. You know, this worked very, very well just here recently with Bilal Muhammad versus Leon. A lot of the times Leon got taken down is when he was up against the cage and his guard was really high and Bilal just shot straight for the takedown. And I feel like one of the biggest reasons it worked so well against Leon is because he was so worried about defending or countering that it just completely caught him off guard and he wasn't expecting the takedown. And for the third and final way Dricus can kind of exploit this pattern, the same shot that dropped Robert Whittaker, it's going to be his jab from the southpaw stance. If Dricus ever happens to be in southpaw while Izzy tries to do this setup, I feel like that would be his best line of attack. He is way too explosive and way too powerful for that type of shot to land. Although Izzy does have a chin, you don't want to keep on testing it. You know, the way I think, if I'm a part of Izzy's team and you're looking for mistakes to fix or, you know, patterns to change, the first thing I would go to is definitely making the high guard more effective and not as predictable, while also adding one of his best assets, which would be his speed and just his overall timing. You know, you look at fighters who use the high guard really, really well. Ones that come to mind is Canelo and Petr Yan. The difference between their high guards and Izzy's, he never goes with straight punches off his high guard. It's always a hook. You know, it's very predictable and, you know, can be beat by a straight shot. That would be the thing we drill. You know, if you're going to use the high guard to set up a big shot, use your straight shots first. You know, use the jab, use the right hand, then come back with the left hook. And honestly, to me, that's just a much more effective way to go about it. And, you know, it's not like he wouldn't have the speed to do it. You know, I feel like his speed is better in this fight. His timing is going to be better. But the ultimate question for me personally is this a pattern that they fixed in training? You know, did they fix it in the gym? However, we can talk about it all day, but the reality is we'll have our answer this Saturday. Let me know in the comments how you guys have this matchup going. I'm kind of leaning more towards Izzy, but I mean, I see a few different ways Dricus can win. A second breakdown video in favor of Izzy is going to come out hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it's probably going to come out Friday at the latest. But yeah, let me know how you guys got this matchup going, and I hope you have a good week.
No matter what you think of John Jones,